Morning, friends. It's Nancy. Got a flip through for you today. So, this book, it's rather large. It's about 9.5 by 6, and the spine is about 1.5 inches across. The cover is from a vintage book, A Short History of the Printed Word, and it's a cloth cover. So the theme of this journal, you know I like themes, is correspondence, which is why I went with this book title. Lots of interesting things in here. I hope you enjoy this flip through. So on the front cover is a vintage letter, and tucked inside is this old postcard. I have glue all over me. So this is dated 1912, and I liked it because it had a picture of a letter on it. So that's tucked in here. This is a vintage piece of ephemera, and it is a statement from 1929. And I mean, you can move this anywhere you want, or use it in something else for that matter. And it just slides back into this vintage 1929 envelope. I love the, this is glassine. It's not like the plastic that we have, and it's really nice aged color. The 5 signatures, and on the anchor page, what I call the anchor page of each, is a little fabric ruffle and some crocheted lace. And the fabric that I used is Tim Holtz Correspondence collection. So on the front, I've made this little library pocket, and inside is a little Tim Holtz journaling card that has postage marks on it, and it just slides right in there. And here's a little boy writing a letter. This is scrapbook paper that's printed with a ledger. Inside, there's a page from a textbook about letter writing. This is a vintage page from a stamp collecting album. Little notebook page. Another vintage book page, and it's really heavy paper. But I liked the font is almost like typewriter, but small. Some ledger. This is a book about calligraphy. Did I say it right? Calligraphy, yeah. This is tea-dyed composition paper, and I've stenciled it with, you know, the old stencils we used to have in school. And I stitched it together because I needed to reinforce the fold. So what I did was I added a strip of paper, glued it to reinforce the fold, and then stitched it down. So in the center here is a very old airmail envelope. You can see how yellowed it is. And inside I've got another Tim Holtz card for journaling. This is a little flip out. Here is a little embellishment I made using tea-dyed vintage linen and an old stamp. I'm going to bring it up a little closer so you can see it. So I think there's 5 stamps altogether in here, but they're from the same collection, and each stamp shows somebody reading a letter. And these are vintage 1974, I think. Probably has the date on it if I had my bifocals on. And then the back of the other pages. There's a little fussy cut of a boy writing a letter with his puppy dog. This is a little pocket that I made, a double pocket. So inside I have, this is a postcard that I cut into a tag shape. Like I just kept this part of the tag from 1964, Alton, Illinois. This is a little tag that I made by collaging postal elements. I love this. These are all genuine postal elements. They're not printables or like coming in some kind of a kit or something. And on the back is just some paper you can put a little bit of journaling on. So that's a really good postal mark there. Seaford, Sussex, December 22nd, 1969. So rarely can read those postal marks. And inside this pocket is a little tea-dyed security envelope that I cut and folded into a miniature envelope. And you can put this anywhere in the journal. I've got several of these pockets, and I've tucked ephemera in them that can be used anywhere. So I've got this little fussy cut of a baby trying to write a letter. There's ink everywhere. So I mean, you can glue that anywhere to fill in a page. And second signature, this little fussy cut about Pony Express. I'm just moving to make sure I'm sort of centered here. Another piece of tea-dyed composition book paper with stenciling on it. Stamp album, vintage book, a little bit of notebook paper, calligraphy, ledger. Here's the text on letter writing. Here's a vintage envelope with a window that I've sewn into the signature. And again, I've got another Tim Holtz journaling card in there. And I added a little tab with, you know, the whale tail punch, the tab punch from Stampin' Up. Here's another little stamp with a lady reading a letter. This is a postcard, and this is a picture of the plane that was Toronto to Ottawa airmail service in 1918. So this is from the Postal Museum in Ottawa. Now, it says day of issue, but I don't see a date on it anywhere. 8 cents was a long time ago, though. Let me tell you. So in this little ephemera pocket, I've got a fussy cut of a typewriter. This is a German language card, and these are some very old airmail stickers. And the third signature, here's a little fussy cut. I have a boy with a letter and an inkwell. Lots of room for writing, but there's also lots of areas to post, you know, little cards or notes or letters, photos. Another notebook paper, like a little memo book paper. There's another stamp with a little Japanese lady. I keep thinking this is 2 pages because it's so thick, but it's not. And then this one, we have another little tag made from the inside of a security envelope. And I punched this out, this postmark, and here's a little fussy cut of a letter carrier. Another, this is a French language card. And in here, here's a man at his desk losing his marbles. got a lot of work to do. Another little envelope. You can see that this was actually an envelope because there's a, it says envelope made from responsible sources. And that's the full, original full line. And the fourth signature, little fussy cut of a Western Union telegram man. Didn't do a lot of inking in here except for the stenciling, really, and the edges of the tags. A lot of the pages are just naturally vintage, aged, right? Another little stamp. In here is another postcard from the Postal Museum. This is Seymour Arm, British Columbia Postal Route, Winter 1928. So these can be taken out. You can journal on the back. And inside I have, here's a little fussy cut of a rather unattractive child. But he has flowers and a letter. That's a fussy cut. Here's another language card. This is a German one. And this is a collage of stamps that were all red that I glued down to paper and then punched it out with a heart punch. So that can be, moved around. Final signature, I have a string that I don't like, so we'll just peel that off. Another fussy cut of a little Cupid mailing a letter. Airmail envelope, and I've put a couple of tags in there that I made myself using a stamp, like a rubber stamp, and these are vintage Denison postal labels. The ones that say handle with care, and this one says please rush. Another little stamp on linen down there. Oh, somebody's put a little note here, chapter 13. Another tiny little envelope, and this is a fussy cut of a desk. A couple more tags. This one's from 1963. Garcelon Stamp Company, America's Finest Approval Service, Calais, Maine. Wonder where I got that from. I love that. And on the back, this is an old envelope from 1915, and you can slip things in there. And this is a very old postcard. Looks like a men's bowling league. And you can absolutely journal on the back or move it around. So that is a short history of the printed word. If you're seeing this video, it is listed on my Etsy and available for sale. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. We'll talk to you again soon.